Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm doing good. Don't know what's going on with the amigos, but Leeds United played against Derby County last night, and Leeds United managed to waltz through Derby County last night. Now, I say this as if it was just a complete piece of piss, complete cakewalk. That wasn't necessarily the case, and we all know that this is true. But it was one of those matches where we just had control all the way throughout it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk it through. I'm going to talk through my feelings, your guys' feelings on the entire thing, show you a little bit of data, some numbers, some information that I thought were quite interesting and worth a little bit of a look and a talk about. And then all will be good, all will be fine, all will be well, and nice conversation shall be had. But yeah, first up, I'd quite like everyone's sort of opinions on the Derby match. Purely because there was, admittedly, well, Sean isn't admitting it, a period in which I was a little bit spooked because I wasn't convinced we were necessarily going to win that game at certain points, purely because we were taking our time to get that goal. Admittedly, that tends to happen, but I was fairly happy with the side from the beginning, considering a couple of changes were made. Yeah, Rothwell was taken out, Tanaka came in. We changed the front three, so the wingers and the centre forward, but I think that was more for rotation than anything else. It was more to make sure that everyone was fit and healthy and fine going into the Blackburn match. I did think we changed something going into Blackburn. Wasn't sure that it'd be Piru, but that's what happened in the end. And then we sort of came out the gates absolutely demolishing them. Like, in terms of threat, there was nothing. I'm looking at a shot map for them now, and they had a grand total of 4 shots. One of them on target, which was a decent stop from Meslier, to be fair to him. A lot of people say that, Meslier Defence League stuff. XGOT, which is expected goals on target, so once the shot has been taken, what's the chance of a goalkeeper saving it? He's more likely to not save it than to save it. So, I mean, fair enough. It was all fine. And then you have a look at what we did, and what we did was we just pommeled them. XG 2.67. This is one of those situations in which I have to think to myself, the fact that we didn't win 2 or 3-0 is probably on the players more than managing. A little bit because of this, being unsure if Mateo Joseph is quite ready for it yet, because there was one shot I'm going to skip through, actually, to find the specific shot, because I've got a nice little timeline in front of me. Yeah, Mateo Joseph had a very, very nice chance at a shot. And it sat up quite nicely for him, and I was like, cool, brilliant, he's going to slot this one away. Didn't. Fired over the bar. Very much not super happy with it. But I feel like that comes with inexperience, and I feel like if you are needing to rotate your players at the minute, as we are, I don't hate it too much that he was given the chance to do his thing, and then we said, okay, cool, we'll bring on Piru. But throughout that match, we effectively dominated them. Brenden Aaronson was obscenely good. This is not a question for me. I didn't see that Mateo had another chance that just about missed. That's gone down as a miss because they gave it as a corner when it wasn't a corner. I've just remembered that. But I think in terms of possession, in terms of shooting, we completely dominated them. I'll be honest with you, their goalkeeper forced into making 5 saves. We took 17 shots. And this is where I'm going to relate to the first of the little statistics that I've got ready to bring up. Now, this graph is going to look like it is a scrambled mess that tells you nothing. I promise you, it is not a scrambled mess that tells you nothing. It might be a scrambled mess that takes a while to load. There we go. So, up in this corner, hello, it's me. You've got the number of shots faced, yeah? Which is a bad one. If you are high on this side of the graph, you're not doing very well. Example, you've got a Yeovil up here, you've got Plymouth this season. If you go that way, that's the more shots that you have taken. So what you want to be is you want to be down there and across there. That's a good place to be. Now, have a look right in that bottom right-hand corner. The side that has faced the fewest shots of anyone. The team that is... Wait for it. There. That one's us this season. We have had, and this is basically as far back as the detailed championship data goes, we have taken the 4th most shots of any side in the Championship to have a go. We have conceded the fewest shots of any side in the Championship over the past 11 years. That is ridiculous. That's stupidly good. And there are very, very, very few sides that would have any chance of coming anywhere near these numbers. And this is why I'm incredibly confident, and have been for a little while, that we're going to be fine, that we're going to get promoted, because it would be absolutely insane for a side to concede that few chances, take that many chances, and not go up. And finally, it's sort of starting to reap its rewards, because in matches like this one, where we create lots and lots and lots and lots, we're eventually getting the breakthrough that we were missing from time to time when it came to earlier stages in the season, where it was like, cool, we've created 2.5 XG, we've scored once, they scored once off of 3 shots. We're not doing that anymore. We're piling on the pressure, and something that I really, really liked was the sort of passing pattern of play that happened for the goal that we scored. I'm going to try and find the video of it. Someone tagged me in it on Twitter. Because I'm not going to call it X, because fuck you, Mr. Musk. But I'll find that in a second. But when I'm talking XG and chance creation, there's another little graph that popped up. This was on the Championship subreddit. I can't remember who brought it up to me, but it's very, very good for us. It shows when it wants to load in, obviously. If it wants to take a while, that's fine. There we go. It shows the sort of rolling average of XG differences. So it's not just each match of XG difference, it's a sort of long-term averaging out what's your XG for over the last 6, what's your XG against over the last 6. Brilliant. Look at Leeds up here. And look at how severe that gap is between what we should be scoring and what we should be conceding. There is no other team in the league that comes anywhere near us for that. Anywhere near us having such a severe gap between the good data and the bad data. Sheffield United have a period of it from like matches 17 to 22. Borough, very, very strong early on. Thank you, hiccups. But have dropped off a cliff recently. Coventry, seemingly on their way up. I've got no idea how they've done that, because Frank Lampard. But somehow they have. But this is the kind of stuff when everyone is shouting, we need to get rid of a manager or something. A, look at where we are in the table. We've not left contention of like the top 4 spots for a long time now. And look at the underlying stuff. Because this and this tell you that we are an insanely good side. And there are very, very, very few teams that will even be able to be in the conversation with us come the end of the season. This is something, to be fair, that I want to bring up as a point. Because it's fair enough. I do agree with this one. We do miss a good amount of our chances per game. And this is, I think, the source of a lot of conversation around we need to sign a number 9, we need to sign a number 10 to create more chances. I don't think we need to create more, just to be clear. Because I think in terms of creating opportunities, we're doing pretty well. As we've seen, we take a shitload of shots. So piling on the opportunities like we have been is just going to consistently happen again and again and again. But it's finishing it off. And I'm going to take a quick look at FB Ref, because there's a little bit of a number that I want to check. Because recently, at least before this match, we'd scored more than we were meant to, which was good. Let's have a look. But I'm not sure if this last game has meant that we have now scored less than we are meant to, but we're around our XG. I think when it comes to us shooting, what we tend to deal with a lot of the time is our XG per shot tends to be a little bit lower. Because if you're shooting as a Leeds United forward, odds are you've got 3 centre-backs stacked in front of you, so you're trying to shoot through a pile of bodies, and then it's got a goalkeeper to deal with. Whereas if you're taking a shot against Leeds United, well, you're probably on a counter. And you're probably doing the free-flowing running stuff, going from box to box, and cool, I've got Ilham Malié in front of me. And you're going to have a significantly better chance of scoring that goal because you've only got a goalkeeper in front of you rather than many, many, many people. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, we have now scored slightly more than we're meant to. But I think the issue that a lot of people have is the goals that we score are the lower chance ones. Whereas if we would have scored the Mateo Joseph one, or Dan James's first shot last night, or the Patrick Bamford one, everyone would be like, fantastic, we've won 4 or 5-0. Whereas in reality, those are all like 0.2 XG chances that add up to 1, and then Aaronson's is the one that went in, which is fine, to be honest. But yeah, I'm basically very happy with where we are at the minute. Goals scored, we scored 44 of them. That's stupid. And I recently saw another table. I know, I'm full of numbers and data today. It's fantastic. That is the championship table for all of 2024. So this is across 2 seasons. This is just sort of, obviously it's not going to be super accurate because you're going to have the teams that went up that aren't there anymore. You're going to have the teams that went down that have only had half of that stint. But if I share the screen, it needs to be this one. There we go. Cool. This is the table, right? Honestly, that's insane. In our last 45 matches in the league, we've got 96 points. That's obscene. Nobody on 96 points doesn't go up. If we're able to keep up the form of 2024, which includes slump towards the beginning of the season, slump towards the end of last season, we're going to piss it. And it's not even going to be close. It's just a question of, are we able to keep that same pace up? Because that's where the struggle comes in, you know? Hard to say. On this, Sean, it'll get us up but bring us back down if we're not careful. I think we're going to follow a different approach to the one that Norwich did. Norwich being, well, he's got us up. If we go down again, it's fine. We've got a year of Premier League revenue, and then we'll rebuild, and then we'll get promoted again. We don't want to do that. We won't be doing that. I think we will genuinely invest a decent sum of money in the squad if we go up, regardless. Purely because we know that we need to do that. And if we don't, then we're going to be in trouble. And the 49ers will know this. They will see the issues that we've had in the past, and they'll go, okay, let's not mess with that again, because that has already taken us down once as co-owners. They don't want to be responsible for it as the owners. For me, looking at the match yesterday, though, I was going to pick out someone to be the man of the match, and I tried to pick out someone to be the man of the match, and a little bit of me wanted to jokingly go with Bamford, and then I decided not to. And a bit of me wanted to less jokingly go with Josh Gilavogi, because I love the guy. Sorry, Gilavogi. It's just so fun. But I won't. I'm going to land on, I think, Aaronson. I had like 4 options on the right-hand side there. It was great. But I'm going to land on Brenden Aaronson just because he's finally coming good with the way that he just doggedly chases every single bit of a match. The way that he'll go, okay, cool, I will do all of the pressing for Peru. And then sometimes he doesn't have to because he's got Mateo Joseph with him, and he still presses the life out of them. And if you look at the way that he moves when we score that goal, I don't know why that's got music on it, but that's fun. Share this tab instead, and let's give it a look. Can someone spot Aaronson here? There we go. It's just counting all of the passes, but Aaronson is just constantly looking for space and thinking, right, where's the next ball? Where's the next bit of space? Scans, sees that there's room behind him, but goes, no, you know what? That's okay, because we had someone in here. He's just always on that little hunt. And someone pointed out that when you're watching this clip, the best thing to do is look for all of the runs that get made that don't get found. I think we're about to reach this sort of stage where he's like, okay, cool, I'm going to set up for it now. So Aaronson finds the ball backwards here, cross to Byram, and now makes the run. And that is such a well thought out run. It's 3 passes ahead of the shot itself that he's thought of making that run, which is incredible. I don't think the majority of people have the forethought to go, okay, so the ball's out here. So if I run behind here, it's going to work out. That's not always going to be the case. Let's be honest. There's also a really clever moment as well when Byram picks the ball up, I think, which I really enjoy. So when Byron picks the ball up here, you can see that over here, he's pointing in this sort of direction. This one, down the line, as if there was someone making a run in behind, like a Solomon. In response, this this right back makes a bit of a move out here, thinking, oh shit, is there someone? And now he's set on the wrong foot. Him moving out a bit means there's a little bit more room for Solomon, who, delicious turn, by the way, that's obscene, that's not fair. Picks out Piru, and at this point, Aaronson's gone, oh fuck, there's so much room for me to run into. And it works out. And it works out absolutely beautifully. And the fact that we've got a bunch of players that clearly have really good vision, have really good thinking, think ahead of the play, and have obviously been taught these patterns by Daniel Farke is a gift, I'll be honest with you. Like, we have a stupidly good team. And from the start of the season, I was like, Aaronson is a sort of okay Championship player. He's putting in the performances now that make me think, no, you know what? He could maybe do something for us next season. I'm not saying starting. I'm not saying we don't need a number 10, because that isn't the case. We definitely do need a creative passing kind of guy. But the energy that he brings and the sort of application that he has is so much better than so many other number 10s that a lot of people would think were really, really, really promising. So when you look back and you think, okay, who are really good 10s in the early Bielsa time? Not touching Pablo, to be clear with you. But everyone was so pumped about Saiz and was like, yeah, he's going to take us up and he's fantastic. He didn't give a shit. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't care, it's not going to work for you. In the slightest. And that's the difference here. Aaronson is a good player. And if he didn't have that work rate and energy that he's got, he would probably be Championship standard. But it's the way that he visibly cares, the way that he applies himself every single time. It's what sort of differentiates him, I think. And why I think Aaronson is one of the players that is very early on the team sheet for Daniel Farke. Because whilst people have been saying, don't have him in the 10, play a Rothwell or a Tanaka there instead, they don't bring that identical energy, which is annoying. Because it'll be good to have a 10 that you can rotate, because then you can drop Aaronson for a week and then you can say, brilliant, cool, you're refreshed, you're relaxed, you've had a rest, come back. But we're not there, which is a pain in the arse. And it makes me think, what are we going to do in the match against Harrogate? Because we're going to want to rotate a lot of people for Harrogate. But if we can't do that, then I don't know what we do, because we don't have a spare number 10. Like, looking into I'm going to look across the squad and think who can play in the 10 that isn't. Like, maybe Gelhardt, but maybe Gelhardt's moved by then, because that's on the 11th of January. That's a third of the way through the window. And if you're Gelhardt and you want to move early. Which is a pain, I think. I think you can't blame his work rate for us getting relegated, because that's not an Aaronson thing. That's more of a Marsh thing, I'd say. Chambers maybe, but I think Chambers is more of a winger, isn't he? If I remember right. I don't know. Either way, I'm giving my man of the match to Brenden Aaronson. Our next match is in 2 days against Blackburn, and I'm feeling very confident about that. I still need to book my train tickets. I'm also going to do a vlog on that day, I believe. Don't know whether it'll be me being over in Leeds on Wednesday and Thursday. I've not planned that one out yet. But it depends on trains, and I think trains on New Year's Day in the evening are going to be a absolute hellscape. So it might be a going through until Thursday kind of job, but we'll find out. Good afternoon, only Leeds Pros. Hope you're doing well. Okay, I wasn't sure if you could play in the 10, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wander us over to one of our favourite places. the place where you just chuck questions in my direction and we have a little bit of a chat, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be chill, and that's how I'm gonna close out the stream. We're gonna go over to questions corner. So if you've got any questions about the match, about tactical stuff, about stuff on the channel, then that would be massively appreciated. Also, I have a thing to pop in the chat. I've forgotten what I called it. What did I call it? Come on, Brian. Just click into gear. It's not coming. It's not coming in the slightest. Yes, it is. The Leeds Awards that I'm doing at some point soon. If you've not voted in them, that'd be massively appreciated. I'm going to pop a link in the chat soon. That has taken me to completely the wrong place, which isn't good. But I'm doing an awards thing where everyone can vote for who they want to win various things for the year of 2024, which is some good fun shit, I believe. There it is. We've got 67 responses so far. So if there is anyone that has not filled it in, I'm going to pop it in the chat now. And that'd be hugely appreciated if you could. That's a messy link, isn't it? It's fine. It'll be fine. Is the Joseph Peru debate over? I think the Joseph Peru debate was over a little while ago, but I also recognise that there is a space in which we need to start. We need to start Mateo Joseph in matches in the near future anyway, because you can't play Peru every single game. Like, admittedly, he doesn't do all of the running and all that sort of stuff, but I think if you rule Mateo out of playing any more matches this season, which some people seem to want to, he's not going to develop, because you develop by playing in games. Like Otta, he's scoring chances like the ones that you got yesterday in training, but it's different when you're in a sort of high tension, fractious atmosphere sort of situation. I don't think this ends the debate purely because it would be a little bit nuts to call a debate done based on Peru scoring a few times when there is benefit to be gained in both directions, I'd say. Would you go for a 10 in January now with Aaronson playing well? Yeah. Purely because I don't think you can not sign someone based on runs of form. I think there is definitely a lot of room for us to sign a 10 still. A creative passing 10 would be absolutely fantastic and would be a must, I'd say. If that all adds up. Just because I don't want to take risks. So right now, I wouldn't drop Aaronson for another 10, but I think there's going to be a point later in the season where we would need to. And that's sort of covering us off. I'd say on a loan and then sign someone more permanent in the summer, just because I don't think we could sign someone that would be good enough for the Premier League next season in the summer this season. But yeah. Is it true not giving up a goal to a corner or free kick that wasn't an own goal? Oh. I don't know. You're going to make me dive into some numbers now. You monster. I hate when I have got to look at statistics. I love it. It's great. Wonderful. Right, I need to be on the overall championship stats. Is it goal type? Playing time, possession, defensive actions, goal and shot creation. Cool. Okay, so against us, there've been a fair few, but I've not got Opta data, so I can't tell. It feels right, but I can't be sure. Do you think Parker's choice to start Joseph instead of Piru was a good one? I think yes, because we won anyway, and it means that Piru is a bit more rested. Because I'm never going to be against us rotating players. The more players that we have that are fit and are healthy and are ready to play, the better. And I think that's a good spot for us to be in right now. With Byram having played more than you expect in both Firpo and Vuba, do you think Schmidt will get a start? I'd like him to. I don't know if Blackburn's the match that would be ideal for that, though. Let's have a quick look at who scored again. But I don't think Blackburn's the one because Schmidt is a very, very attacking player. And that's where danger is, you know? So searching Blackburn Rovers. Apparently there's a Blackburn Rovers in South Africa, which is fun. I'm fairly sure WhoScored.com, Sammy Schmodix isn't a Blackburn player anymore. Just a theory. Right, so who plays for that side? They've got Dolan, they've got Cantwell who can play out there. They've got Hedges that can play out there. Yeah, it's one of those where I wouldn't like Schmidt's first start to be against Blackburn because that provides us a pretty chunky threat. That's the way that I'm going to phrase it. Schmidt I can see playing against Harrogate, maybe, as a sort of, okay, how do you do in that position? Maybe against Hull, but that doesn't look super promising either. But yeah. I would like to see him start for Blackburn because I'm over for that match, which is very, very fun. Because Blackburn is going to watch Leeds versus Blackburn twice, and that's really, really enjoyable. And that's going to be like back-to-back matchday vlogs as well, which is also kind of cool. Yeah, what's your favorite all-time movie? I'm going to go with About Time, which is a Richard Curtis rom-com / lifestyle, not lifestyle, like life-ish movie, which is just really, really good, and I enjoy it, and it makes me happy. And was, I think one of the songs from it was the Walking Down the Aisle song at our wedding, which is nice. In the process of starting my own channel, would you come on when I go live? It depends on when you go live and stuff, because I also have work and things. But if I'm around at the time, I would more than happily do so. I think we've got plenty of space for loans, which is a good point. I'm going to have to read quickly, because more comments have come. There we go. Is Turgeman the Joffrey or Bamford replacement? I'd call him more of a Joffrey replacement, because I think he has a lot of developing to do and isn't ready to come directly into the side. But yeah, can't see us finding a 10 that's available, affordable, and better than Aaronson has proven to be. Cabal maybe. I wouldn't say Cabal because his side are, if I remember correctly, at the top of Ligue 2, and I think he'd want to give Ligue 1 a look, especially being French. They're no longer top of Ligue 1, which is, as they say, ominous. It is how you like to call le spooky. But they're second, and they've got a pretty good chance of getting promoted. How many assists does Cabal have this season? 1. Okay, that's not quite what I expected. But yeah, he's more of the Joffrey replacement, and on this one, I don't know. You should see it's a very, very good film. If Stark Schmidt, I appreciate your reason. I'm guessing that's I'd Stark Schmidt. I appreciate your reasons for not doing so. It's more on basis if it's too risky to injure Bayern. I'd rather lose than have Bayern out for 2 months. It's safer and more sensible. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I mean, there's maybe a chance that we shift Pascal out there as well and just say, like, cool, 3 centre backs gives you a solid back three, and then you put Bogle on as effectively just a free running wing back, which is fine because normally we play with the back three ish anyway, with 2 centre backs and a central midfielder dropping in. If instead you say Strauch, Ampadu, Rodon, there's your 3, which works, I think, maybe. Hey, Ryan, I've just seen this. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the ones that I somewhat skipped. We'll just give him some appearances. He's too young to lead the Leeds line. There's a lot of lead there. Piru's done more than score goals. He's starting to create stuff now too. Yeah, that's also true. I'm enjoying the way that Piru's playing at the minute. I don't like his movement still. I think his, like, sorry, I wanted to feel wintry. I think his relative inability to get in the 6-yard box is starting to bug me, but that's fine. I like the smell of match smoke. I don't know why, but it's delicious. Luke, that's a good question. Where was Luke's question? That one. How many players in the current squad that aren't largely confident that are Premier League players? Right. Okay. I'll have a look by minutes played, and then we'll judge from that. Rodon, I think, would be all right. Stroke. I think Bogle could do a decent enough job. I think he was heavily left on his own when he was at Sheffield United, which caused him some significant problems. Aaronson, I would say, is probably a bench player at that level. Nonto has some more developing to do to get there, I feel. Tanaka, absolutely, would be very, very comfortable with him. Rothwell, on loan. Firpo, I don't think he's going to be an issue because expiring contract / potential sale. Piru, maybe. Piru, big, maybe. Dan James, I think, could do a job. Matteo, maybe off the bench. Ampadu, absolutely good enough for that level. Ramazani, I would say, is good enough for that level. And then below that, I don't know if we've seen enough. I think we've got a reasonable side that could do okay enough in the Championship, is where I'm sitting on it. Logs is here. How did you find your... I mean, to be fair, you managed to break a losing streak. It wasn't your own, but you did manage to break a losing streak. Where are you in the league at the minute? Is it 18th, maybe? Yes, because I saw a quite funny meme that who would have thought that after the playoff final, the 3 teams above us would still be Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton. It's getting a bit typical here. You keep getting deja vu. We've got a Welshman. I've got no problem with calling Mr. Consistent. I recall another Welshman we had who had that moniker. It's a good place to be. We love the Welsh in Leeds. We truly, truly do. I'm doing pretty good, Kevin. Hope you're doing well as well. I don't think I'll be streaming for too much longer because I've got bits and bobs and shits and globs to do. I don't even know what that phrasing is. But I'm not going to go predicting anything for Leicester because last time I predicted something for Leicester, it was that we would beat them to the Championship title, and that one didn't happen. So I'm just going to leave them to it for a bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't think we're stupid enough to hire Steve Cooper. I'll be honest with you. I think even when you hired him, you were like, fellas, are we sure this is the right move? Should Steve Cooper? Honestly. Yeah, no, I don't think there are going. I think you've done a really good job in being a lesson for every other side that gets promoted of don't get Steve Cooper because it's insane. But on the bright side, you're not dealing with a fan base that's shouting "Get Moyes in." Are you dealing with a fan base that's shouting "Get Moyes in"? Because we are, for some reason. Which 3 Premier League teams do you want to go down this season? Now, this is a different question to what I think will go down. What I think will go down is the current 3 teams in the relegation zone. The sides I want to go down, and I'm being even semi-realistic here, because all of these teams are 14th and lower. Scum, obviously. Everton in 16th, because fuck them. Southampton. Specifically, Southampton breaking Derby's record. That's the dream. The dream is Southampton get relegated in the most embarrassing way possible. I can't even remember who's managing them at this point. But I don't see them having anything like a good time. Yeah, let's have a look. Southampton's squad. I forgot Ramsdale went there. Poor guy. Benrick, Bree, Ronnie Edwards. I didn't know Ronnie Edwards had minutes. Walker Peters, Jack Stevens, Howard Bellis. Aribo, Downs, Mateus Fernandez. I know that name. Tyler. Who the fuck is Tyler Dibbling? And why does he have as many minutes as Adam Armstrong? Cameron Archer. Oh no. Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we're not in their situation right now. Yeah, Sodom. Ivan Juric. Okay, thank you very much. Which manager, in your opinion, has done the best with the lowest budget? I'm going to go to my default answer. I'm going to go to Scotland. And I'm going to pick out, never mind, in the past 5 games. That's not quite gone to plan. But I would have said before the last 5 games where I stopped paying attention to him, it would have been Jimmy Thelen at Aberdeen. Because being at Aberdeen, you ain't got much budget compared to the likes of Celtic and Rangers, and they're 2 points behind Rangers. So I'm not going to complain about that in the slightest. I think that's a very good place to be on not very much money, especially compared to the sides that you're having to compete with. Ultimately, kind of back it. And I said a couple of months back as well, if we were to fire Daniel Farke, which is a stupid idea, don't do it. The one person that I would think, yeah, solid, go for him instead, would be Thelen. Because he's really, really good at football managing, which is nice. How long am I streaming? I was planning on streaming until 4. Why? What are you plotting? Ominous. I think Ipswich will go down. Yeah, I think they will. I don't want them to. There's a little bit of a gap there, and I kind of hope they survive. It'd be nice if they did. If or when we go up, we need to 1, make ourselves hard to beat, and 2, get a good start, and then hope to finish 17th or above. Yeah, that'd be nice. Whether or not it's doable is a bigger question, but I hope it is. If it is, then I'm very happy. If it isn't, then as long as we give it an actual go rather than doing a Southampton, I'd be fine. If we're in a spot where we go up and we go up purely to sort of be miserable, that's less good. I back that significantly less. But plotting, how and where is your cat with camera proof? She's in the next room and there isn't a camera set up there. However, give me a minute. I've had a thought. It's a clever thought. It's a really clever thought. I'm a wise boy. I'm not a wise boy. I'm an idiot. But you know, you're looking for the Scum and Chelsea fixtures. The fingers crossed for Boxing Day, New Year's Day. Yeah. If this works, I'm going to be very happy. Oh, don't worry, I'm not disturbing anyone. It's fine. We're good. We're cool. Why is this taking so long to happen? Give it a minute. And then you see, I built up some hype. Everyone get hyped. Woo! Shout hype in the chat, and that'll be great. If we went up last season, where do you think we'd be in the Prem right now with our squad? I'd say like 16th to 18th, somewhere in that rough area / conversation. So not in a good spot, but I think would be okay enough. I'm gonna have to refresh the page. Please actually work. There we go. Hey, welcome to a new potential feature. It's Bunny Cam. Oh no, it's the rabbits. Such good babies. Basically, what happened a while ago, if anyone remembers, when we got sneakily broken into by some dickhead who tried to steal our rabbit, I figured we'd pop a camera out there. But now that means that we can do bunny cam. We can keep an eye on them. We can make sure that they're doing okay. I need to go out and clean them out today, which is going to be fun. They're currently sat on a bed of hay, which is very nice. We've got a rabbit just a little bit. Can we admire the handiwork, you dickhead? You know you put that together. Remember though, if we're going up with yeah, it's a completely different squad, so it's hard to say. Bugs Bunny and Roger. How dare you? So this fella right here with the brown on him, this is Wallace, and the one behind is Hutch. The reason that I've named them this way is because Wallace gave me Wallace vibes immediately, and Hutch is the rabbit from Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit that takes on the personality of Wallace. Difference being, Hutch is an absolute crackhead. He's insane. It's fantastic. And then down here somewhere, we've got Nora, who was our prior rabbit. And I can't pan, which is a little bit of a shame. I might have to edit that when I'm actually physically in there next. Who is just chilling. Who's a very nice rabbit. But yeah. Sometimes from now on we can do rabbit cam. Oh my god, I've got an idea because I keep getting messages from YouTube and like emails and stuff like that being like, we've got a new feature. It's our what's it called? It's like super chat targets and stuff like that. And I'm not bothering with them because I rarely get super chats anyway, and I've not got many things to target. But I could always say super chat is rabbit time, and that'd be wonderful. Although that sounds wrong. That sounds a little bit cursed. Oh, it was so good. I need to watch it again. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that again, I think. Is she down there? Is that why she's hanging out? Maybe. I don't know. But either way, it's fine. Hello, Gary. How's it going? Can you get back to the topic, please? Questions Corner, not Rabbit Watch. How dare you? I mean, we're on Questions Corner anyway. But if anyone does have any more questions, whack them in the chat. I'm going to nip off in a few minutes. I have got a question from my brother asking why separate. They are currently separate because they're in their socializing phase, the phase in which they're getting used to like the scent of one another and that sort of thing. So they're having brief stints of being all three together. They're having brief stints of two of them being together or a different pair of them being together. And then we're going to loosey-goose all of them. I think the plan was today or tomorrow. I can't remember which one. But that is when they are going to be freed, and it's going to be lovely. Which form of player would you have in the team now? I am going to come at this with my favourite, very biased opinion, because I think he's the best player to have played for Leeds United for a very long time, including the days when we were in the Champions League last time around. And you didn't say at what point in their career I had to have them. So I would take the very current, right now, Rafinha, without a question. It's got to be. And that covers this one off as well, because Rafinha, in the current Barcelona system, has played as a 10. He has also played as an 8. He's played on both flanks, and he's played as a 9. And he is frankly ridiculous, and he brings me joy every single time I get assigned a Barcelona match from work. It's ridiculous. At their peak, I'm still going to take Rafinha, because I think his peak is still yet to come. Like this season in the Liga, he's had 11 goals, 6 assists, and somehow only been booked once. Broken. Champions League, 6 matches, 6 goals, 2 assists. Obscene. He's too good. Is the thought of thinking about thinking worthwhile? And if so, how about if it produces an existential crisis of thoughts? What then? What's your remedy? Is the thought of thinking about thinking worthwhile? Yes. Because you've just described, well, it depends on your approach. You've either described brain doctors or philosophy, or both. I don't know. If it produces an existential crisis, you should keep thinking and realize that even if you are in a position where you don't think free will exists or anything like that, all you can do is go with it. You can't change your circumstances, so just roll with it. It's fine. And yeah. Which day next month will Leeds announce Melly has been sold? They won't, because he won't be sold in the next month. Because it would be silly. On a scale of 1 to 10, why is Ampadu the best midfielder in England? Counterpoint. On a scale of 1 to 10, why do you believe that Ethan Ampadu is better than Outanaka? Joe, you might need to tidy your bedroom. I mean, I got hay all over the floor. I've got some rodents in there. Got some balls and stuff. For some reason, there's a hutch in there with a bunch of stuff open and a half-eaten log. It's just a mess. Absolute clusterfuck. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pause back in questions corner, and I will do one more question, and then I will nip off because, again, I got some things to do. I think John Charles will be decent in our squad, and he's Welsh. Yeah, but I've not seen any John Charles, so I don't want to like hop in with like an uninformed opinion that's based on someone with the big numbers, you know? Like, he would be fantastic, I'm sure. But I've watched Rafinha like 5 or 6 times this season, and I know that he's very, very good. Do you think we lacked a little something without Rothwell's drives from deep? This being the final question. How dare you? It's who I am as a person. It's just my personality. I don't know if we lacked anything. I think this was one of those matches where if you're driving from deep, you might just end up giving the ball back to Derby, which is why I'd say I don't think we lacked anything particularly. But then again, I'm happy enough with us being able to rotate players here. Like, maybe, but at the same time, we had a little bit more in terms of defensive confidence because of Ampadu. So it's a balancing act, I think. Oh, I should probably do a preview for Blackburn as well at some point soon. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll maybe do that as a stream. I was just joking, Joe. You're on. Oh, thank you. I can't believe I give off the impression of being a wonderful person, when in fact I'm a hellish being from the fiery pits. I'm such a bastard. No, it's fine. Anyway, I will likely do a stream tomorrow as a preview, either a stream or a video. I've not quite decided yet. Might do a Football Manager stream or a RimWorld stream tomorrow. I might try a RimWorld stream on YouTube. That could be good fun. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, pop a like on the stream. As always, really, really appreciated. Helps it get pushed out to more people and is really useful. Subscribe if you're not yet. I'm trying to get that pushing in the right direction, especially through the fun little transfer period that is always a nightmare. And you could even become a channel member. It's 99p for a month, and it's literally as cheap as I can make it, and I do videos early and stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all the fun bits, and I will see you later. Doodaloo.